for those guns?
I've got your permit right here.
Back in 2015, a short film emerged from Sweden that sounded extremely outrageous and quirky on paper, but when it dropped on the scene, it took the world by storm. Kung Fury was written and directed by David Sandberg, but if that wasn't enough, he also starred as the lead in the movie. Kung Fury threw together every 1980s action movie trope imaginable. Neon lights, synth music involving David Hasselhoff, kung fu superheroes, dinosaurs, Nazis, Vikings, and time travel, creating a hilarious and aesthetic blend that made it an instant hit. Sandberg originally worked in visual effects and commercials and had a love for the 80s aesthetic. He took that inspiration and put it towards the original concept of Kung Fury. He created a trailer, launched a Kickstarter campaign in late 2013, and raised $630,000 for the short film, way above the original target of $200,000. Thanks to a passionate crowd of backers, he was able to get the film started. He primarily filmed it in Sweden, and it clocked in at around 31 minutes and was produced by Laser Unicorn Studios. It was uploaded onto YouTube and currently has 40 million views. You could also find it on Amazon as well. The story was absolutely outrageous, with Sandberg playing the title character, Kung Fury, a Miami-Dade police detective in 1985 who's struck by lightning and bitten by a cobra, therefore becoming a kung fu-powered cop. After his partner is brutally killed, the villainous Adolf Kung Fuhrer Hitler rises. Fury travels through time, accidentally hitting the Viking Age first, to ultimately battle Nazis, Viking warriors, a gigantic Tyrannosaurus, and even the Norse god himself, Thor. Upon release, Kung Fury made waves online. The spoof action brilliance, full of neon and absurdity, resonated with viewers of all ages, with a hint of nostalgia thrown in. Not only that, but it also premiered in the short film section at the 2015 Cannes Film Festival, lending the project legit festival credit among general hype online. Given the short's underground success, talk soon began of expanding the universe into a full-length feature, a dream of Sandberg's and any grassroots creator. And with that, the idea for Kung Fury 2 was born, and what started off as a short film would now get an actual Hollywood budget, a cast of huge stars, and a full studio backing along with it. Unfortunately, as good as that sounds on paper, that was only the beginning of a long, rough journey ahead. This is the story of Kung Fury 2. The sequel was announced in the wake of the original success. Development began around 2015. By early 2018, major casting announcements came out. Two-time Oscar nominee Michael Fassbender joined on as Colt Magnum, Kung Fury's new partner in the movie, and classic superstar Arnold Schwarzenegger as well, joining the project as the President, alongside Sandberg. Jorma Taccone as Adolf Hitler / Kung Fuhrer and others returned. Fans and newcomers were hyped with the casting list as it was, and with the creative mind of Sandberg behind it, and a much bigger budget, things were shaping up to be something truly exciting. The filming started and took place from July to September 2019 in Bulgaria and Germany. Where the short was only 30 minutes of pure ridiculous fun, the feature promised to go big, faster, more outrageous, more stars, bigger effects, and everything in between. This was no modest indie. It was targeting cult phenomenon squared. Fans patiently awaited as the team went to work creating a sequel that would surpass the original in every way, but unfortunately, here is where things get messy, frustrating, and legal. In September 2020, reports came in that post-production on Kung Fury 2 were halted due to a lawsuit filed by the producers against a key financer. specifically the firm Sun Entertainment, which was the LA arm of the Chinese company Sun Media. They were accused of failing to pay the agreed amount of money, including about $10 million earmarked for visual effects work. In essence, the deal was that Sun would take a major stake and agreed to fund major parts of the budget. But when VFX houses like Double Negative didn't receive the funds, they stopped work and post-production was grinded to a halt. Right after, the producers filed a complaint of breach of contract and fraud against Sun for non-payment. Later, new filings suggested Sun then turned around and sued other parties or engaged in further legal moves, making the situation even more tangled. And what was left was a depressing paradox: a finished film locked away from the public as fans patiently await on the other side to see it on the big screen. In a 2025 interview with Variety, Sandberg opened up and assures fans that even before the first lawsuit, there were many efforts that had been made to prevent it from reaching that level of legal action. Producers even offered to buy Sun out, offers that were ultimately refused. Sandberg went on to say, they just kind of stonewalled every single attempt to solve the issue. And it was just really heartbreaking for me as an artist who's worked on this for years, and there are so many people who have poured their hearts into this, and I feel super terrible for them. In May of this year, a 10-minute sizzler of the movie was leaked to the public, further fueling the cry out for the movie to be released. It showed the all-star cast and the same quirky style for the first one, except much bigger and much better. The true tragedy is having a completed work, one that you've spent years working on, being locked and trapped by reasons completely out of your control. The momentum that had festered when the movie was initially announced completely disintegrated after nearly 10 years of waiting. But with that being said, I know for a fact that people would be just as ecstatic as the first time they heard the sequel was being worked on, me included. There's nothing more frustrating and unfair than business and corporate level moves directly affecting an artist's vision and goal. A sad and pathetic reality that continues to affect art and movies even to this day, and one that will remain just as long as people are people and businessmen are businessmen. I, for one, hope more than anything that these two companies can come to some kind of an agreement and put aside some kind of feasible goal to release the movie somehow. As tangled and as complicated as these initial legal battles are and continue to be, one would hope that there's some kind of outcome that will arrive one way or another, but I give major props to David Sandberg for fighting for his vision, like all artists in turmoil, and I hope he doesn't stop his creative journey along with all those involved in the movie. Right now, as it stands, even the creators themselves aren't 100% sure that we'll ever be able to see the movie, and it's looking more and more doubtful as time goes on. But here's to hoping for the best. And that's the story of Kung Fury 2. If you liked this featurette and want to see more content just like this, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. All support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to talk with other people about movies and get announcements for our latest videos, consider checking out the Discord. The link will be below, completely free to join. Would love to see you there. But thank you very much for watching, and long live Kung Fury 2.